Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In the last video, I just gave you guys a quick introduction to returns. And in this video, I basically just want to introduce how we are able to use the values that are computed from a method. Remember how the first day of class and last couple of videos, I've been saying, hey, whenever you call a method, you have to actually do this. You actually have to compile and do this. Now if I compile this and run this, this will actually run. But notice how it's not printing out anything. That's because number one, I don't have a println here. And number two, because this method is returning something, we are not accessing its value. Meaning that this method right here returns a string. But as you can see, some of you guys are saying like, why is it not printing out Abdullah, or why is it not having that reference to that value of my name? The idea being is whenever you return something, you need to actually capture the return. Think of it like the water balloon. This is the case where I basically, when I call the method without actually storing in a value or printing its value out, what I've done is somebody threw me a water balloon. In this case, which is I called the method and somebody threw me the water balloon and I dropped it. Meaning that I don't have the access to that value and I don't have access to whatever thing or whatever that method returned. So I basically dropped it. What I need to be able to do is actually capture the return in some sort of variable, or I could actually print it out. The first part, which you could do, is you can actually say system dot out dot println, um, and this will actually be able to print out my name. And let me go ahead and explain to you what this is doing. So basically, the method age is returning a string in this case, which is my name. And so basically what I'm doing in the main method is I am basically printing out whatever that method value is, meaning whatever is being returned from that method, I am actually printing it out. So that's one of the ways in which you could be able to capture values from a return method. So in another case, what you could do is you could actually store it in the value, you could actually store it in a variable. Remember how I said variables can keep track of information and data? So what I could also do is I could say string age, I could say string, and I can call it name, and I could say is equal to age, and it's not an actually descriptive name because this method is actually returning a name. I could actually change it to name if I wanted to and change it here. And again, we talked about the variable name has nothing to do with the method name. So if I compile it and run it, now basically whatever the value, so we can actually print out a name. Let's actually print out what name is. System dot out dot println. Let's print out name. See how basically it did the exact same behavior. So the idea, what I'm doing here is because this method is returning something, I am actually capturing it in a value. So that's the case where somebody threw me a water balloon and I am able to access it and I am able to do whatever I want with it. So whenever I have a reference to name, that's just the idea that the method returns something to me and I'm able to capture it. There are as many neat applications for this. For example, you could have, say, like a program that calculates somebody's BMI based on their height. One method could ask the user for some height information, and the other one can ask for their age and stuff, and calculate their BMI and return it. And later on, I could use it throughout my program. So that's just basically the idea of being able to capture returns. Again, there's many more applications for returns. We just talked about what returns are and how they're used and how you are able to capture and work with them.